Welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb, the cookie monster, Perez.
Okay, those cookies are pretty bitchin'.
I love
Sugar?
anytime somebody makes I love sugar. That's my co-host, Alex.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I guess Hispanic. Pruneda. I didn't know what else to go with there. You just...
I kind of just said that. I'm actually mad hungry. Yet again, another.
I was hungry too. That's why I started eating cookies and strawberries.
I would love that. I actually kind of just wanted to steal the strawberries from the child and be like, man, you ain't gonna eat all that.
Strawberries. I did give her quite a bit of strawberries. I don't know how much Mariah usually gives her.
You gave her some big. You didn't even cut them. No, wait a minute. I need to describe this for the audience. So I saw this man cutting strawberries, right? And I'm like, okay, I saw his technique. Take off the head, split it in two. I'm like, that's weird. Caleb just usually eats them. There's no extra preparation with that. And then I see these pretty decently sized, strawberries, probably maybe bigger than my thumb, slightly bigger than my thumb. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna eat those. It's fine. A little bit of weird, odd prep. He then proceeds to give these half-sized, thumb-sized strawberries to a 2-year-old.
She's almost 2.
Almost a 1-year-old. I went choking at him.
When I took out the strawberries too and put them in the bowl to watch them, I looked at the bowl and I was like, this is about the amount of strawberries I eat in a portion. I'm sure she can finish it.
I would have cut them again in half for them.
I did eat 2 of them though.
I did see that. And those ones you didn't cut. You just went,
I just straight up Kirby'd those strawberries.
This fucking man was munching, bro.
Dude, I love fruit. I can't.
I didn't want an orange. I started eating that. I'm like, I forgot fruits exist.
The problem is oranges are out of season now.
Yes, they are.
Now sucks. You can actually, they should be back in season come July and August, because that's when Florida gets their crop, or not crop, their batch. What's it called?
It's called the crop.
Crop. Well, no, because crops are like corn and stuff.
Oh.
Their harvest. That's what it's called.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Because batch is used for bakeries.
You harvest fruit. Batch is for baking, yeah.
Yeah. Then what's for like livestock? I forgot these are all used for specific things.
What is livestock? That is a complete...
Do they say slaughter?
I think that's... Each of them have different terms, because a group of cows is cattle. I don't know the group of pigs, but it's a flock of sheep. A flock of ducks also, which is strange.
Well, that's the group name, but what do you call the...
It'd still be the same.
Would it be?
Yeah.
Oh. I learn something new every day.
Herd of cattle. A herd. You wouldn't call them just meats and milkies.
I would.
I guess you could. But I mean...
A farmer. Hey, you got those meats?
But I guess that would also just depend on the type of farm that you have. It would be a dairy farm. Or meat.
I got the jugs.
You got the jugs.
Well, what would you call an assortment of milk products?
Dairy?
Oh, yeah. I got the dairy.
It'd be dairy.
Well, yeah, it would be that. Because I got the gallons. I got the quarts. Guess you just would say I got the dairy.
Yeah, I got milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, anyway.
Yeah, farm stuff. It's funny, I guess, since we're just talking about farm stuff real quick. It was so funny, that last episode of Minecraft.
Clutch of eggs.
But that last episode of Minecraft that we played, like when I was editing that, I was just impressed at my sudden random amount of farming knowledge that I just spewed out in that episode. Like I completely forgot that I just went on a whole, like it was like 20 minutes. Like most of that episode is just me talking about farming, something I've barely done in my life.
So were you like a farmer in a previous life?
Apparently, the Flint West Lumber came out of my past life.
Flint West Lumber?
Farmer on the frontier.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, back when I worked on the farm after retirement, I just went on a whole rampage of raising chickens and growing pumpkins. It just slowly evolved into me doing just like a southern accent.
Can I tell you something? So I can't remember why. I think it was just because of the amount of stuff I was watching. But all of a sudden, about like 2 days ago, I couldn't stop talking in like a country accent. And I don't know why.
It's so...
I'd find myself monologuing like for videos. I'd just be like... I'd be like, kind of like this for some reason. I don't know why.
And you're like, wait a minute.
I'd be like, whoa.
Back up.
What the fuck? I was like, hey, stop. Don't do that. No.
It's so weird because even I've heard stories of people moving to other countries. Mm-hmm. Like they go from America and like move to like Australia or something. And they'll just gain that accent. Oh, just because they lived there for long enough. They'll just gain their accent.
I heard about that too.
There's a whole like... There's a whole like mental phenomenon behind that like wherever you go, like because if you just put like a group of people together for long enough, they'll just create their own language.
It's
like
so
at
weird.
some point, the South, if it wasn't connected to the rest of America, probably would just be its own language at this point.
I kind of had like a southern accent. Like, okay, I'll tell you why. I got really invested into the hyperfixation of herding sheep. I was like, dude, I could totally do that, dog.
Herd sheep.
I could like they just graze all day. Is it really that hard? I was like, what does it actually do?
Is it that hard?
From what I understand, it's like a mid-tier like animal to raise.
You could get like a hyperallergenic sheep dog to take with you.
Yeah. No, if I'm outside with dogs, I'll say I had to explain this to Nat the other day. She would have been here, but she's been working too hard.
She's EP.
She EP. If I'm outside with dogs, as long as they don't touch them and smear my face with all their fur, I'll be fine. It's just indoors, and then doing that is what fucks me up. Because yesterday I kind of tested it out with some of the cats at another friend's place, and I was scratching their little faces. But then since I was like trying to make a conscious effort of don't touch my face, the only problem I had was just my sinuses. So that's about it. So I've been testing with it. But no, I would like to, maybe in the future, I'd have to be old, but I would like to have like some sheepies or something.
I don't know why. I just imagine you as like those images from like the biblical stories of like the...
You see me with the hoop cane.
The hoop cane and a giant...
You know what those are for?
No.
They're so I had to Google it. So the reason why they have the hoop is to strangle them back in.
So like what they use it on like cartoons when like a guy's terrible on stage that like they'd actually do that.
That's what it's for.
That's crazy.
I was like, okay, I thought about it. I saw someone use it, or I saw it on screen. I go, I definitely know what that is used for, but I had to double check. Exactly.
It does make sense.
Yeah. Oh, it just looks like that because it looks cool. That's it?
They do it because it has magical powers if you curve it.
If you just put a fucking... the fact that you can curve a piece of wood is still insane, by the way.
Yeah.
That process is really funny.
It's actually crazy how somebody figured that out.
Yeah. Anyway.
Trial and error.
Yes. A lot of trial and error. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Going back on the whole human evolution thing, it is so weird how much shit we've discovered. Just
randomly.
Yeah. And it's just, I figured out how to bend wood without it like having to grow. I'm like, how did you do that? A lot of moisture and like slowly bending it through like an extremely long process. I'm all like, huh. It is weird. Humans are little funny little guys. And then I had the electrician hyperfixation, and now it's moved on to Warhammer 40K. And now I'm all like, should I make a YouTube channel about it like I did with JoJo's? And I'm just like sitting here over the past few days. I've been getting into Warhammer, bro. I can't wait for the fucking video game.
Mitchell was just having like a whole crazy breakdown showing me all sorts of Warhammer stuff. And I was like, I felt like
I'm lost.
Pretty much, like there's just so much information going in my head. I was like, "Holy crap!"
It's honestly a pretty fun universe, but there is a lot.
It's crazy. It's a crazy.
But even as a hobby too, it's expensive. I was like, you know what, man? Maybe I should paint one of those. Kind of make a old man hobby. A pack of like 5 guys is like $40 to $60. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yep,
that's a whole Gundam.
Yeah, Mitchell was telling me that as well. Like one of them was like, he's telling me it could be up to like 1.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
More than that even sometimes, and just for one figure you have to paint it completely.
Yeah,
It's
those are the massive mega ones. They rarely come out, and they're really hard to get to. But people like them. It's one of those.
Like them.
It's one of those hobbies is where I think it's like you spend the time and the money, and like you get what you want out of it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we've been doing this week.
Pretty much.
We're only 11 minutes in. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Small talk, actually small for one.
Yes. Anyway. We had a theme today. If you did not know, last week we spun the wheel and we got God. However, both of us are idiots, so we decided on doing something a bit related to that.
It's related. So I came up with this scenario as I was driving home from work.
Today? Last minute. Always.
It's a bit of a ripoff from what another podcast did.
Fuck, they won't know.
We just picture ourselves, me and Alex, we're sitting here doing the podcast. Mm-hmm. Then suddenly, a meteorite crashes down from the atmosphere and lands just on us two, killing us both.
Damn.
We're both dead.
Damn.
And now we get the opportunity to meet God. But hold on, St. Peter stops us at the gate and he says, hold on. We gotta check. We gotta check your background. We gotta make sure whether or not you go to heaven or hell. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna go through the little checklist. See if we meet the qualifications of heaven.
Okay, can I ask you a dumb question?
Sure.
So St. Peter confronts the both of us. Do you know my initial reaction, like what he said?
No.
In my mind, he said, "Let me check your vibe real quick."
Let me check your
vibe check. He mogs me. What are you doing?
Wait,
hold on.
He's checking to see whether or not we got the honorable ending. Was our honor high enough when we kicked the bucket?
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur, I gave all I had
for you, Dutch. Damn, I still hate Dutch.
I hate Micah even more.
Micah was just a twat.
He was just actually the worst.
I hope he's rotting in the 9th circle of hell.
Yeah. Which hopefully neither of us will make it to.
I don't think... Oh, did you do the circles of hell too?
No, I did not, but I probably should.
Open that tab up because I technically speaking, just look up the punishments.
You know, first things first, I think we...
I
think we got to go through...
Yeah.
Where's the Totally Oblivious account? Why is it gone?
Oh, no.
Well, we got to go through it's the 7 deadly sins and the 7 heavenly.
I think they're just called the 7 virtues. You don't need
7 virtues.
Don't want to add
7 sins, 7 virtues.
Are we just doing Dante's Inferno?
You know,
are we probably awesome? That video game.
Welcome to the first ring.
I need to actually read that story in full.
I can't stand 2-step verification.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Oh, dang. The 2 document episodes were Nazi zombies plausible and heaven or hell. That's crazy. Okay. So I think it's best to start off with the 7 sins.
Yeah.
Just go through. I think we'll go through these and then we'll just kind of see which ones apply to us.
Caleb and Post, to make this fun, add the rings of hell as we go down, and then you can go up like Dante's Inferno.
If we're good or bad.
Yes. Anyway.
Okay, so the first sin I have on here is pride.
Yeah.
And the definition they gave: the proud diminishes others to claim his superiority, real or presumed, in any field. Strong of such awareness of superiority, he does not respect people and laws because he is convinced that he is worth more than anything else. Pride shows in different ways. It can imply submission of other people, or rather the demand of their admiration. It comes from a desire to excel, to be recognized as the best compared to others, thanks to real or just demanded merits. It is considered as the most deadly sin because the proud believes he is so much better even than God, that he acts as a judge towards others. And I put a little note at the bottom: God complex.
Yes, I think that's actually where this idea comes from. So biblically speaking, I think pride is the worst. Personally, I wouldn't say it's the worst.
I wouldn't say so either. Like, it depends, because I think pride has like varying levels within itself. Because once, like, there's the pride as in, like, just being like, thinking
I did this today,
being like, I'm better. But then there's like the pride of being like, I'm better than God itself. God doesn't exist. There's only me.
And I don't. Maybe it's because I'm just not prideful, so I say this wouldn't be one of my sins. But like, I understand, like, in like a fictional sense of like trying to overcome the odds, trying to beat the deity of something, isn't really saying you're prideful. You overcome something so Herculean that you should feel pride in it. But like, in the case of literal Satan, that one's just, I don't even really know how to put it. I was thinking about this before we started the podcast. I was trying to figure out how to articulate it, but I never figured it out. But it's just like, I think in the case of Satan, it is so like, or Lucifer, technically speaking, if you want to be biblically accurate, was just, man, you were dumb as fuck.
He's an idiot. We've said this before on the podcast. He's just an idiot.
That was the biggest blunder ever. I'm going to betray God, so you've lost infinite power by your side. Are you dumb?
You fool, you just fell for one of the classic blunders.
I love that movie.
I do too.
Pride's a very interesting one, and even historically speaking, I'd love to have maybe Andrew Fry would have.
He probably would have had some crazy lore for us to hear. Even my brother Cliff would probably have some. Pretty much, we could have had so many other people, but there's two idiots just talking.
Yes. No, I lost my train of thought, but it's just like, historically speaking, if we were to look at it, pride's a very interesting one, because even like culturally, I think the only people that like lower Christians would have hated for having pride would have been the rich.
Yeah, like, and I mean, that makes sense.
This is just a rich person's like sin.
And through this I think research, or at least the research of the sins and the virtues, they're basically all kind of interlink with each other.
Yeah, when we get to lust and greed and gluttony, they all kind of like, they're all funny.
They're all kind of basically the same.
Yeah,
they're all just variants of each other at some points.
They hard spec into one thing.
But yeah, so from pride comes vanity, delusions of grandeur, judgment, omnipotence, and will to subdue, which I think judgment is probably a big part of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like, I'm better than you, which is just wrong. That's just a wrong way of thinking.
Yeah, you have to. I know, like, sometimes we joke around in saying that, but to genuinely feel it, I'm like, what is going inside your head to justify everything about yourself being better than X, Y, Z, ABC person? Because it's either you grew up in a hyper bad environment, or you have been given everything and you think really weird. This is a really weird one. I don't think it's the worst, but it definitely shows where you've come from. That's what I would say.
So should we already judge whether or not this is something that could apply to us?
Us as individuals, no. I think we have our moments, but it's like there's no way.
I think, if I'm going to be honest, with the amount of times I run on FU energy, I think I might have to put pride on my list.
How bad though, on a scale? Like
on
1
the
to 100?
Scale of how prideful, it's very on the lower scale. It's definitely not on like the I'm better than most people. It's more on the I'm going to prove that I'm good.
See, I wouldn't say that's pride though. I think that's just like determination.
I think it does come with like, for me, it does come with negative points, because like it'll be very slight things that I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna become the best.
Okay, I guess that's how you say it. I don't really say that. And maybe it's because I've gotten older. I'm just like, man, it ain't worth the fucking effort.
I think it's just because this is why I didn't play a lot of sports and stuff in school, is because I'm just very competitive, and I don't like showing that side. So I try to do more like stuff that you do as like a collective, like cooperative stuff rather than competitive stuff, because I know I'll get too into it, and that's a problem. So I'm gonna have to put pride down as one of mine.
Okay. I don't think for me. I just don't see myself like that often. I might get determined to win, but it's just like at the very end of it, I'm probably gonna be like Goku. Wow, that was a really good tough battle.
That was a good battle.
Yeah, that's what I'll probably end up saying, at least personally for me. So I guess I don't think this is the first circle of hell. I think this is the very bottom, but we'll continue.
We'll continue. So the next sin is envy. The envious hates his neighbor because he owns something he doesn't. Envy comes from the awareness that someone else owns qualities or goods one does not have. It implies the comparison to others and the hatred for what they have. As a result, the envious person enjoys other people's losses and disgraces, because only that would make the envious feel higher than his misery. In fact, he does not pursue to improve his conditions. He just waits for others to get worse. And for the little note at the bottom, I put wakes up just to hate more.
So I'm going to dig me on this one, and I'm going to say this is actually the worst sin.
Yeah, I think envy, because envy kind of leads to every single other one.
Yes, definitely. I even think, historically speaking, even from a Christian's perspective, I think this is the one they tell you to steer clear from the most, because it is the gateway. I think it's even more prevalent now in the modern age because of the internet. I think and some of the stories I've been making.
No, you're 100% right.
Everybody thinking the norm is what's on their phone is just the gate. It's just envy. It's just like that person's hot or that person's good at that specific subject. When in reality, it's just like, no, you're seeing what their not 2 points, 0.001% of
even
something.
then, you're only seeing the qualities that they want you to see, which is their best qualities.
Exactly.
Which, if you saw them in reality for what they are, not everybody's perfect.
They could be a loser. Or like example with YouTubers, they can be like Dream. Like, I'm really good at fucking Minecraft speedruns, maybe.
He's a
question
cheater.
mark. Probably. Statistically probably a cheater.
He's also there's no he hasn't been convicted of anything, but he's definitely not
icky.
A person you want to be around
exactly.
or associate with.
Or any other YouTuber that's gone down bad. It's like, envy is just a very funny thing. It's just like, you're envious over something that probably doesn't matter a lot. And I think back in the early days with my YouTube channel, to grow or like to fight to what I have now, you had to be envious. And I even see, people in real life, and it kind of borderlines, not on greed, but maybe lust. Lust and envy would probably be my sins. But it's just like, I kind of want that, and I'm envious, so I try to work for it. So it's a bad one. I think everybody struggles with this one.
I'd actually, we'll get into this, but I definitely think that the moment you start comparing yourself to others,
big one.
That's just immediate. You're leading to your own downfall, because that's just. It's not healthy to do.
Like Satan.
There's
going to be a lot of Satan iconography here.
Because it's like, if you're looking at what another person has, you're never really seeing what you have.
Exactly.
And what you have is infinitely more important than what anybody else has. Because like your abilities and what you can do by yourself is going to matter a whole lot more to you in the end.
Exactly.
When it comes down to it.
And then when you're in a team, since there's no I in team, it helps everybody in a collective group.
Exactly. And it's like, even this, when you see somebody who has something better than you, like, at least like on the basic level of like your friends, if you see like a friend that has something that you don't, it's like, appreciate the fact that they were able to get that through their own sheer will. It's like, if they can do it, it's like, yeah, you can do it too, but that doesn't mean you hate that person for being able to do it first.
Like, you can get competitive and be like, you know what, I'm going to do that too. But I'm not it's not wanting. It's like, I need to, I can find them in myself.
It's more like you just want, I guess what I'm trying to say is just stick up for other people. Like, be proud of other people that they're able to accomplish things.
No, because they'll be proud when you accomplish your thing.
It's true. And when it comes to a point when you need help with something, then you can also, you have their expertise.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. And the collective of the planet would be better if we all just shared our individual expertise.
Because technically, if you looking at that example, every country is envious of another country
because of what they have.
Exactly. And guess what that leads to? Is Wrath the next one or no? That would be an awesome segue.
So we'll get into Wrath, but so I just wanted to read, from envy comes jealousy, constantly comparing with others, negative self-judgment, all things we've said.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us have envy.
No. Well, I'd say maybe back in the day with YouTube, but now it's just kind of mellowed out. I'm just like, I just want to kind of do things. I really don't want. Well, I need the basic necessities for life. I wouldn't count that as envious. Looking at other people's basic necessities, it's like, I should do. It's more like, I want that. It's more like, I should do that. I know how to, but man, I don't want to move.
Because I think the majority of the time for me, I'm so occupied in my own little world. I'm already not even paying attention to what other people.
I say it's like a low envy bar. It's not even like the point where you start raising eyebrows.
Are you gonna count this like how I counted pride? Okay.
Yeah, it's like low pride. It's like so you're fine.
So we're both a little down there right now.
Yeah.
But I think we can make it back up.
Yeah.
Unless we just go on a bad streak.
I think of one more, and I think after that I'm fine. I don't think I have the other ones are like super specific.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is lust. So lust is related to pleasure, whether sexual or not, and in itself exasperated in impulses and longings. A fruitless pleasure that does not imply love nor desire for reproduction. It is just the urge to enjoy the act itself with no respect nor consideration for oneself or the other person. While sex between lovers is an experience that elevates love and physical and spiritual union, lust leads to separation from each other and even from oneself. And in some kind of beastly blur, only to pursue physical satisfaction. And I put Careless Whispers as the...
I think that would be the theme of lust.
Yeah, I think so.
Could be, but terrible song, technically.
Yeah.
You look at the
good song,
but terrible story.
Terrible
in it.
Thing happened in that song.
It took me like 5 years after learning about the song to be like, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
This is bad.
This is bad.
This is just some like heartbreak
and it's
song.
not that we're saying that it's because he's singing about a dude, because that's what that song is about. He's singing about a dude.
You're singing about a dude? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because George Michael is gay. That's not the part we're saying is bad. The bad is the lustful part.
I didn't even think
that's
about
the
that.
Bad part.
You really singing about a dude?
Yeah.
Does he say anything about gender in that, or is it just like implications?
It's just all like
lore.
I think because this is just a little tangent here. This is why George Michael was so great. Is he as a gay man was able to sing these songs, and not a single person
ever questioned.
Or I guess you could apply it to any sort of relationship with his song.
I did. Wow.
Except for Last Christmas, but I think that's a different story.
Last Christmas.
What a great song.
It is. In terms of lust, I don't think I have it. I have wants, but it's not to the point to where it's described like that.
Yeah.
Lust is you gotta be a freak in every regards, sexual or pleasure wise, to want that kind of like ecstasy. It is very, I don't even know how to describe it. I think this is the one I don't know the most about, like on a personal level, because I'm like, I like doing it, but I'm not gonna be fucking wild about it.
I don't think that's what it means. I think it's more like this
is like the weird one.
It's tough to explain because you think it's
Fry. What do you think?
Fry.
Get a PNG.
I think at like the baseline, it's like when you see somebody of your preferred gender, and like if the majority of the time what you're thinking about is
to bone and not to love,
then I think that would count into this. But
or the severe wanting of something, but then not actually using it in its intended effect for material gains.
Yes, I think that's basically that's basically what from this definition is saying. It's basically just the want for something. But I think specifically the Bible refers to like the sexual wants of.
There's probably like a whole bunch of like historical context behind that too. During that
like,
time,
like having an obsession with sex, I think is also.
King Solomon, what do you have to say about yourself?
Who?
King Solomon had like 300 wives.
Yeah. That guy was crazy. Some of those people in the Bible just
dude, there's just some animals. That's just like what is
like they did some crazy stuff.
It's wild. But yeah, I don't think neither of us have this.
No, I don't think so either. Even like the only way you could possibly count it for me is as like the jokes that I make can be bad in nature. Mm-hmm. But if that's all it comes down to, then I'm pretty sure every single person on the planet would fall under this category.
Yeah, because like it's really weird to separate the primal aspect from the philosophical aspect of it, because it's just like when is the line of lust?
I think with this there is no line to separate the two. They're both together. Like you have to consider both, because it's like it's a carnal urge, but like if you can overcome that, I think that means that you're able to defy lust. But if you're not able to, and you're just constantly submitting to it, then it's like you might be a little lustful.
You might be weird. You freaks.
Yeah, I think we're both good on that one.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
I think we're good. Next one up is gluttony.
Okay, so this one's funny because I actually do know a lot about this one, not because I'm fat.
So let me read the definition they give.
Yeah.
Gluttony is not just an excessive desire for food, but for anything. Objects, experiences, money, even emotions, insatiability, and avidly pursued. Those who indulge in gluttony live in constant state of dissatisfaction, devoured by their insatiable hunger, be it material or spiritual. Even a hyperactive mind, which consumes itself in its same hectic thinking, can be a symptom of gluttony, such as an excessive sexual desire that can also result in lust. And I just put Kirby as the description of gluttony.
Kirby's a good one. So I think historically speaking, gluttony is mostly associated with food, because it's just all like back in old times,
that
Moses as your neighbor, you had limited food, so don't fucking overeat.
Yeah,
because other people have to eat. That's what the start of that was. Eventually, throughout the eons, we've kind of like it's evolved into being something much bigger. And I think a lot of people are gluttonous. I think this is probably right next to envy. If I were to power scale them, it's like number 2, because I think a lot of people genuinely consume en masse. Now, consuming en masse isn't bad. The bad part is the after effects when you don't feel satiated. There isn't an end goal. That's where I personally feel like we're like, okay, now you're getting crazy, dog. You need to at one point, enough is enough. Like as an old person, if you don't feel satisfied with your life, I feel like, okay, bud, you're reaching the end goal here.
Hold on.
I don't think you're gonna get to the pearly gates, big dog. And that goes with like everything, like information, technology, any needs or desires. It's a bad one.
Yeah, gluttony's bad. No. But I think I might have to put gluttony on my list.
Really?
Yeah, I like food a lot.
The food one's weird. I don't see it necessarily like as bad. Because you have your limit, right? You can only eat. Do you have a limit, Caleb?
Well, sometimes when my tummy get real rumbly, especially on like trips, I will steal from whatever babies on that trip. I will steal their food.
Okay, maybe Caleb's just different than me, dog.
I will take their food. I'm gonna be real, Alex. I think you might be on this gluttony part too.
I don't think I am. I think I know my end goals.
I recall us fighting over a Rice Krispie treat and food on more than one occasion, like rabid animals.
When was this?
There was a time back in 8th grade.
It's 8th grade, dog. We're 20. We're 22 now, by the way. My birthday happened.
Let's be real, though.
I think as a matured man, as a child, I think as all children, we're all gluttonous.
I think, let's be real, though. I think we'd still do the same thing today.
I don't
If there was one piece of food that was good enough and we were both hungry enough, we would not hesitate.
I would split it. I think I would. I'm trying to be justified myself as a grown ass man. Here's half of the Rice Krispie treat. Now, if you wanted the whole thing for yourself, damn, that's proving another point against you.
Because I remember during that specific time with the Rice Krispie treat that Caitlin was giving it to us, and she told us to split it. But at that moment, we both looked each other dead in the eyes, and we both simultaneously knew that whoever touched it first was not gonna split that Rice Krispie treat. And with my reflexes like a cat, I grabbed that big Rice Krispie treat and just inhaled it.
I remember it was in Robertson's.
No, this was in the lunchroom.
Oh my God! Yeah, now I do remember it. Holy shit!
I remember because she was sitting across. Was she sitting next to us or across the table? I can't remember, but I remember the table we were sitting at.
I think it was across.
It was closest to the wall.
No. She was like in front of both of us somehow. I don't know the.
I just remember it was the table closest to the wall. And then there's a table, and then the door leading outside, and we're sitting all right there. And she's like,
That's right.
She's like, one of you guys want this? And we were both like, yes, we want this. And then she's like, okay, you guys have to split it. And we just looked each other dead in the eyes for a split second and both understood. It was survival of the fittest.
I guess. I definitely didn't need it. I'll say that now. But as a child, I think we're all funny and silly. But as a grown man, I could live without the Rice Krispie treat.
I'm going to give myself gluttony for this.
I will say this, though. On a scientific level, as my girlfriend has been kind of dabbling in food research, if I get like full calories, like good calories and protein, I will hit a level and be like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to eat for like 10 hours. I'm good. I don't want a snack. I don't want ice cream. I don't want none of that shit. When my tummy get full, I'm like,
nah, I wish that would happen. But
fuck yeah.
My tummy gets full and I'm like, man, I'm full. And then an hour later, I'm like, man, I'm starving.
You're just like my grandpa's dog Odie. You just fucking pull out something from the cupboard. The dog.
Like there would be times where I'll eat a full meal, and as soon as I smell like a different food, my stomach's immediately like, you never ate anything today.
Well, actually, scientifically speaking, too, that's how it's supposed to work. Weirdly enough,
the
it's like
you smell food, you're immediately hungry.
No, it's in the presence of a different food. So your brain, I can't remember how it works. It's either there's a chemical or just an instinctive thought. Once you've ate one food for long enough, you'll be like, oh, I'm full. And then there's a pile of oranges. Oh my God, I want a pile of oranges. But like 10 seconds ago, it's like, oh, you just said you were full.
That might be one of the worst evolutionary traits ever created.
Well, in the wild, it makes sense.
Not even in the wild, because if you have a scarcity of food, it's like as soon as you see a different food, you're like, I'm going to immediately eat this.
I guess it's just for body fat. I think that's why that initially, because body fat's like, it has its uses, is probably why that's a thing. But like, as modern humans, we don't need it. We have so much food.
That is the most stupid evolutionary trait to ever exist.
It's dumb. It is. You see it with your dog. Feed your dog like a really good meal for them, and be like, okay, they should be full. Bring out anything else.
They'll always want more.
They'll be like, food.
They will literally always want more.
Dogs are gluttonous.
They'll eat until they vomit.
Exactly.
They're actually stupid.
That's why they're dogs.
All right, here's the next sin: sloth. Those who practice sloth refuse life. The sloths drag themselves in constant boredom and passiveness, which lead them to do nothing. A form of sloth can also be living in a mechanical way, refusing evolution, change, development of things, and situations. Those living in sloth wish that everything were plain, always the same, and neutral with no joys or pains. Of course, those suffering from it also neglect spiritual and divine matters, and that is why sloth is an abominable sin. And I just put Snorlax.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I feel like
sloth is a weird one.
Sloth might be up there. I'd almost say sloth is on par with gluttony in terms of how bad the sin is. Because the moment that you just stop
envy
trying, like the moment you don't desire for more in life is it leads to
stagnation. Okay, I'll say this. Maybe this might be my crazy take. Power scaling or Meta's power scaling.
Power scaling sins.
Envy. What did I say? What was the other one? Fuck.
Gluttony.
No, was it lust? Was it envy, lust? Envy, lust, gluttony. Caleb might have to correct it in post. And the gluttony would be third. The reason, or not gluttony, fucking sloth would be third. The reason why I say it's third is that's all bad, but at one point in a human's life, you have to be sloth. Like if you're an old man, there's only so much you can do. Like you can do the little changes, but depending on your definition of where the line of sloth is, it's just like it would vary in my mind. Like an old man could only move so fast and do so many things.
I wouldn't even say that's sloth. That's just you're dying.
That too. Well, some people might get. This is the Warhammer stuff. The reason why I'm so ingrained with that is like my favorite chaos faction is Zenich, which is the complete opposite of that. He loves change, but one of the other chaos gods is literally just the perpetual cycle. Nothing changes, death and rebirth constantly. It's really funny there. I think it is definitely the worst. I will agree, or one of the worst ones. Bad. But like, just feeling off one day and feeling lazy isn't sloth.
No, your body gets tired.
Yeah,
you mentally can get tired. Yeah, it happens.
And sometimes mentally, your body might take a few hours to recover. Your mind might take days. Like you just couldn't be like, man, I don't want to think about shit. And then eventually you'll be like, all right, let's go do some things.
I think sloth on like the very basic level is just not having the desire to do your part in like the team effort of survival.
Religiously speaking, that's what it directly is. It's like get your ass up,
get up
and go to the fields
and help us get food. Or even at that point, you stay home and cook the food, or maybe go out and hunt the food.
Yeah, true sloth. My 500-pound life. That's what sloth is.
That's sloth's final form.
Yes. I think like gluttony eventually evolves into sloth.
Or I'd say sloth evolves into gluttony.
Really?
You sit around doing nothing, and then you're like, I want more, and then how you fulfill yourself is by eating more, or like just trying to take from others who are working hard.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. Never mind, I take it back. That actually makes much more sense in that connotation.
That's why I think sloth's so bad, because at some point you will become dissatisfied, and you'll be like, I want stuff, but
Envy,
I don't want to work
sloth.
for it.
Yes, and gluttony's at the bottom right now.
Yeah,
we can flip flop on my list.
We keep explaining, but like basically, envy and lust eventually evolve into one of these.
Yes.
But yeah, sloth's pretty bad. I don't think I have sloth.
No.
I think I'm so jittery and wanting to do stuff at all times. Like the amount of times I sit down on the couch and I'm like, man, I'm sitting on the couch when I could be doing something.
I don't have it physically, but mentally, I'm always fucking pondering. I'm always looking at my YouTube analytics changing. I'm like, how can I change the change? So like, look at me. Physically, that might be one thing, but like I'm always like, where can I go mentally speaking? What can I do mentally speaking? Just looking at YouTube in general, which I would like to exercise more. I probably should go on more walks. I will probably do it after this podcast, but it's just like, I wouldn't say I am sloth. Just because you're fat doesn't mean you're slothful, because you're still doing things, but if you're like an amorphous blob doing nothing and not changing, that's when you're slothful.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. So neither of us have sloth.
No.
I would not say so.
No.
And now here's wrath.
Wrath is such a weird one.
So wrath makes minds blind and unleashes a beastly rage into men, something unstoppable. The heart is empty, the reason is blind, and only negative thoughts fuel the mind, instigating hatred, resentment, and a desire for revenge. This vice is also implacable, because even if those suffering from it are able to destroy their enemy, it will not cease to torment them. And for the description, I put Twitter.
That's a good one. I saw some Twitter brackets Assassin's Creed, the new one, because there's a black samurai and it's just racism.
Just brackets the gaming community. They're always wrathful about something. I don't know how they're always angry.
So I have a controversial opinion about wrath. Maybe it's just because I'm a wee pleb when it comes to wrath and the information it is. I don't think wrath should be a sin.
I think wrath is bad.
No. Of how it's described, the blindness of blindly seeking something, I think should be separate from just being angry. That's where I come in. I think there should be 8. I think there should just be like the war and blood. That being separate from this one.
No, I think.
That's my controversial take.
You're seeing this backwards. The blindness comes from the rage.
But you can see that through any emotion, though. Like, any of them can all just be that.
Well, especially with lust. The blindness is not the sin. The sin is the rage.
See, but then I would like to separate that. I don't know why. That's just me.
You can get blind with lust, blind with gluttony, blind with envy. You can be blind by all of these, but the wrath is the part that is the sin. Is your
cultural
angry.
Context?
You're actually,
the Middle East is always in war.
It's true. That's
why wrath is there. I don't know. I think I don't know. Always as a child, even now, I'm like, can we make that an 8th and separate it or something? I don't know. That's why I've always seen it. Wrath is like the
culmination of all the sins.
Of
all 6 other sins, they will all eventually lead to wrath, which leads to somebody getting killed.
See, you say that, but then I look at gluttony and I'm all like, man, you ass ain't, or sloth or gluttony. And I'm like, your ass ain't moving. You're not doing none of the other ones.
At some point during their slothfulness, as they become envious of the other person, they're like, I want their stuff. I'm going to kill them for it.
See that? Okay, that's when I
hate them because they have their stuff. Part of envy is wrath.
So I think maybe it's just because I don't like the word. I think wrath. It's just.
I think you're thinking of wrath as in
stabby stab. Yeah. It's not. I think that's what it's been for like 20 years for me. I think can we change wrath into just hate? Well, that's how I've always felt. Like wrath. When I think of wrath, this is where my mental is. It's literally just war. It's not like I'm gonna stab you now for your things.
If the sin was war, it would be called war.
I think actually. Wrath might come like the word evolution is wrath, then war comes from it. I think. I don't know. Words are funny,
but no. Wrath, I think, is perfectly placed because once you let your anger take control, that's probably one of the worst.
It is one of the worst ones. I will say that. It's just the word. The word just like, can we change it to something else?
You have the strangest opinions on words.
I do. Words are fun. Words definitions, my biggest enemy. Why is it called that?
That explains your English grade.
My English grade was actually good. I had actually a very good English grade.
Was it though?
I had like a B and A. I always had B and A's in English. I did. Now, my penmanship is bad. I've gotten better with it, but I've always done good in English. My thing was always math. Math was my downside. Every other class did pretty half decently. The ones that I cared in.
The ones I cared in.
And the ones I cared in was in English. I liked English. English and debate.
English was fun.
It was. Except for the one teacher, I forget her name. She was a very old lady, and I would describe her as very envious of the youth. If we're using the terms here correctly.
I don't know which teacher that was. I obviously did not have her.
You did not. I had it with Trey, Maddie, some other guys in there too. I think it was Connor wasn't in there. But yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point. But wrath is a pretty bad one, I would say.
Alex, you have wrath?
Me?
You
no.
Get angry?
Oh, I can definitely see the other Prenadas have it.
Not me. Prenadas have wrath.
I try to hold it in. Like I can feel it coming, and I have to be like, okay, hold it back.
I can attest to that with Andrew.
Yes.
When we were playing Pokemon Gold and Silver, and he literally just walks in the room after losing in 2K just to destroy a controller in front of us and leave. And we're just playing Pokemon. We just like look up and we're like, All right.
What the scallop?
What the scallop?
What the sigma?
Like that was. I'll never forget that moment. It was just such a blindsiding moment to happen.
Yeah.
It was just him walking in the room, raging at 2K so bad that he destroyed the controller.
I want you to know it's still an occurrence. He
still destroys controllers.
He does, and I'm like, dude, what the? I'll say this: I get angry sometimes. I can get really angry, but I can hold myself still. Wrath is one of the ones I constantly am always aware about, just because of probably family trauma. So I always keep that one in check. So I definitely 100% say I do not have that one. It is at 0.
It's at 0.
0 goose egg.
I think for me in the past I was a lot worse, but over time it's gotten to the point where it's like I've learned it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah.
So the only time I'll get angry is I feel I'm like trying to put on like a performance just to make it
funny,
to make everyone entertained. That's the only time I'll like start yelling and stuff. But other than that, I really don't care.
Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah, I don't think we have.
That one's weird.
We're pretty chill for the most part.
I wish it still got a name change or something. I don't know. My mind just sees wrath and it's just like war.
You know, so far looking at this, we're on the final sin, and between the two of us combined, we've only had 3 of the sins so far.
Yeah.
So
now when we get to the virtues, I don't think we're gonna have any. I don't know. I actually don't know all the virtues, so maybe I'm wrong.
I guess we could still end up in the negatives here.
We need technically to break even. We need 3 virtues. I don't know.
I mean, I need 2. Unless I get this one.
No. If we both fuck up, we both go to hell. That's what Peter said. Oh, you guys have to break even.
We have to do this combined. Yeah. So what? Combined so far we have,
I think 3.
Gluttony, envy.
Yeah, I think that. There we go.
Pride.
Yeah.
All right. So 3. The last one is greed. Greed is the excessive and morbid attachment to material goods, and in that it is similar to gluttony, but the greedy is also obsessed with never having enough, and the fear of others can deprive him from it. The greedy lives as a prisoner of what he owns and is never tired to amass. He puts the goods and wealth he already owns and those he desires above anything else, and that is why greed is considered a form of idolatry, because the greedy loves his goods more than he loves God. Now, I like stuff, but do I like stuff that much?
I don't.
Not really.
No. I could live without certain things. I think if you can just answer that question and say it truthfully, you're not greedy. Because I could be like, okay, take away my pants. I'm fine.
Take away my pants.
Yeah. Or like my underwear. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Now my computer, I'm like, well, I need that for work. But that was not out of like, I need it for the crazy stuff. But like I could live without certain things.
So should we?
I think this is like almost near 0.
Well, if we're counting this combined, and if we want to make this interesting, should we go by the thought process that if you ever sinned once in your past,
oh, dude, okay,
then it counts.
Okay, but then
if there's a scenario that we remember in our past,
all of them,
then we have every single
one. But remember, in God's eyes, we can all be redeemed.
Have we redeemed ourselves?
I would like to. I prayed once or twice and be like, I know I fucked up, dog.
I'm sorry.
But I've tried my best here. This world's not really built around the idea of like being like a good person.
All right, so just to make this interesting, I'm gonna give us greed.
What?
Because I like saying I like gold a lot.
Oh, and that's on you, dog.
I think gold's pretty neat. I think it's shiny, and I like shiny things.
Yeah, that's on him.
I don't need it, but I really like it.
It is technically the most useless metal outside of phones and technology.
But it's neat.
More of a titanium kind of guy myself.
Titanium? I like nickel.
Nickel's not titanium.
Nah, of course it's not, Alex. They're completely different.
Are we just naming off our favorite metals?
I'm just say, you know what? I'm giving. I'm giving a sloth for how slow that answer was from you.
Can it actually just be on screen just a sloth? Can you just give me a sloth?
Just a sloth.
A baby sloth.
So at that point, we now have 5 of the deadly sins.
We're doing it for bits.
This is
Grandma,
for bits.
it's okay. Grandma, I'm not sinful.
I'm not sinful. If we're being real, we probably only have like 3, 2 or 3 maybe combined.
Yes,
but
let's go to the virtues.
For funnies, we'll give us 5.
Yes.
So the only ones we wouldn't have is wrath and lust.
Yeah.
Unless we counted our past sins, then we'd have
we're maxed out in its entirety.
So we'll give us 5. So we got the 7 virtues now. I'll read them in the order of their counters. Okay. So the counter to pride is humility. Humility is a central virtue in the Bible, emphasized in both the Old and New Testaments as a key characteristic of a faithful and righteous person. Biblical humility is characterized by a modest and unassuming attitude, a willingness to serve others, and a recognition of one's own limitations and dependence on God.
I don't know if I would give this to me. I don't think I could.
You're not humble?
Is it humble? Is that what it is?
I think so.
There's a dinosaur in the corner of the room and I just noticed it.
He's staring at you.
Yes. I would like to say I'm humble, but to a virtuous point, I'm going to say my human faults just don't let me to be at like a level where I can say I am a virtuously humble person.
You know, I might have to save us on this one then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take compliments. I hate getting complimented because I'm like, once you compliment me, then that gives you expectations that I have to do. And I don't like expectations because I could screw it up. And so I tend to dull my abilities down enough. But then again, that's also to impress other people. So they're like, he says he's not that good, and then I do extremely well.
I'm not that good.
So does that counter our sin of pride?
It was your sin of pride. Does it counter yours? Fry, what do you think about that?
Fry, say your piece.
I think Fry agrees with you.
He gave it to me. We get to knock one off the list. We only got 4 sins to knock off.
Let's go.
So this one might be an easy one. The counter to envy is kindness. The Bible teaches that kindness is a characteristic of God's nature and that believers should strive to emulate this virtue in their own lives. One of the most famous verses about kindness is found in Ephesians 4:32. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. This verse emphasizes the importance of kindness in relationships, highlighting that believers should treat others with compassion and forgiveness.
I'm going to say I have so much kindness in video games. I can never choose the bad option because I feel bad.
We feel bad in Red Dead for accidentally choosing the bad dialogue.
I feel bad for misclicking and punching my horse. I go, no, I have to feed my animal immediately. I'm sorry, I misclicked.
It's different for me in like children's games. I'm a menace. But when it's like a serious game, like I couldn't play GTA because I'm like, I can't stand being a criminal. Those cops have someone to go home to. Like I'd be sad watching you guys play GTA and just start gunning people down the street, and I'd be like, man, those NPCs probably had a family to go home to, and you just killed them.
Yeah.
And in reality as well, I'm like, man, this guy just has a life. He looks sad. I feel bad. I should help him.
I feel bad for all the NPCs I've killed. Like just in general, just think about like even like from like an evil, like from like all those gangsters are like you think the bat's nearby? Yeah, I gotta pay for my family's life insurance through mob activities. Oh shit, the bat!
It's the bat! Or all the times I dribbled somebody on the ground as Spider-Man.
The fact that some of those I'm power scaling Spider-Man, the Insomniac verse. The fact those criminals can still like wiggle after being beaten down by Spider-Man is insane.
Not only would Spider-Man be dribbling them on the ground with his webs
and breaking the concrete,
swinging them, breaking the concrete, swinging them, slamming them on the ground, bring them back up just to slam them back down again.
The
finishing them off by swinging a manhole cover at full strength.
Those are like
at
50 pounds, by the way. They're huge.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, I feel bad doing these combos.
So if we count our sins in the video game universe as applications to our real life selves, I don't think we'd get kindness. However,
the game forces me to do that and to make the hero go through his arc. So I'm gonna say counterpoint to that. I am forced to live in this fate. I am trying to do my best.
I think it's unfair to consider video game stuff because most people would not do half the stuff they do in games in real life.
Yes.
So I'm going to give us kindness.
I would say kindness too. I do feel bad and I try to help where I can. Sometimes I get a little bit socially awkward. I was like, oh, I wish I could help, but my social awkwardness is kicking in, but I feel bad.
So yeah, that I think kindness is an easy one.
Yeah,
that's
I think we've literally explained on the podcast. If I had $1 billion,
like being nice to people,
I'd be fixing everything.
All right, so we might as well go through this one too. This is like a bonus. We could get extra points to go into heaven at this point if we get chastity as well, which is the counter to lust. The word chastity means the quality of being morally pure. Note that chastity can relate to either sexual interactions or conduct, behavior, and intention generally. Synonyms of being chaste include purity, modesty, and virtue. Usually we think of chastity as abstaining from immoral sexual activities. Chastity also has less known meaning related to personal integrity.
That was a lot.
It's actually less than the other two.
No, that's like, well, it's less in like words, but how to think about it. Even through that description, what is chastity? I'm actually confused. I'm confuffled.
I guess we'll have to look up it.
Yeah, chastity's a funny one. Is it
purity, a virtue related to temperance? Someone who is chaste refrains from either from sexual activity that is considered immoral or any form of sexual activity.
Okay. I think I get
it. Their state of life in some contexts. For example, when making a vow of chastity, chastity means celibacy.
Okay, the way I'm thinking it is like if you have a state where it's like, I want all these things, but you go, no, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have that. I think I can temper, if using the one of the definitions there, the temperance part, I can temper myself to be like, okay, calm it down.
Chill out.
You're fine.
You have temperance, so therefore we're down to 2. We only got 2 more sins.
I think I'd be okay. I don't think I probably have the best temperance, but I can rein myself in.
Oh wait. Okay, so temperance in itself is also an individual
I'm pogged.
It's an individual
virtue. Really?
So we're specifically looking at chastity then. Temperance does not have to deal with it.
Well,
you know what? I'm not gonna take it specifically because of the jokes I've made in the past.
They're not me, guys.
This comes down to you.
I have done things. I don't fit underneath this category, but I still wouldn't say I'm lustful. I'm just in the middle.
Yeah, we don't get either one.
None.
But that doesn't mean we're terrible.
No,
we still only have 3 sins to get rid of.
In God's eyes, I'm still a good child.
Until we finish this.
Until we're
so next one is temperance. Temperance or self-control presents as an inward spiritual virtue, exhibited outwardly through restraining or controlling one's total being, thoughts, speech, actions. Self-control is not just about being submissive, but being in control of your emotions, words, and actions. As a characteristic of the fruit of the Spirit, it is allowing the Holy Spirit to guide you so that you do not sin. I think I have good self-control.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
like I said with the calories thing earlier with food, it's just like
I might eat a whole box of Krispy Kremes on a whim, but I already have gluttony, so does that really mean anything?
How funny. I control myself in a lot of other ways that I'm probably not even thinking about because it's just so instinctual for me that I'm going to say yes. Because I'd have to ask my girlfriend. It would have been great to have her here to be like, do I not do things just on sheer nature alone? So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to try to visualize my girlfriend here, or Fry, or whoever's in this court. It could be God himself if he wanted to in the room. But I'm going to say yes on this one.
We got St. Peter right there.
Yeah, Peter. I think I'm good, dog.
I think I'm good. He might be good. Yeah. I think that gives us A-okay.
Yeah, I think I can control myself pretty. Like if Satan was in the room with me, tempting me with everything and anything, I'd just be like, "You're the reason we're in this mess, so I don't want anything from you, bozo."
Like at the end of the day, it really just comes down to like, unless I really, really want something, I'm not gonna take it. Because like, it even comes to, like, you can even think of it like with your spending.
Yeah,
that's an easy pass if we think about how we spend money. Because it's like, man, you know,
I spend it on the people I love.
I really, really don't need this thing, so I'm not gonna buy it, even though it looks cool, and I might think it's cool, or this food looks tasty, and I might want to eat it. I really don't need it, so I'm not gonna get it.
I can save it for tomorrow.
You can save it for tomorrow, for a rainy day.
Exactly.
So that's a pass. We got 2 more sins to get rid of.
Yeah.
So diligence, the counter to sloth. Diligence is a virtue praised in the Bible, often associated with hard work, perseverance, and steadfastness in one's efforts. The Bible encourages diligence in various aspects of life, including work, relationships, and spiritual matters. Peter writes, for this very reason, make every effort to add your faith, goodness, and to goodness, knowledge, and to knowledge, self-control, and to self-control, perseverance, and to perseverance, godliness, and to godliness, mutual affection, and to mutual affection, love. Here, diligence is seen as an essential part of growing in faith and character. Yeah, I'm pretty. I'd say we're both pretty diligent.
Yeah, like I said, I might not move physically, but I'm always thinking.
We have aspirations, which I think is
the complete opposite of sloth.
I think sloth is the one thing that we just do not have.
Yeah, no. Like I'm like just to have goals and dreams.
So we're down to 1. We're down to 1. We gotta get rid of 1 sin.
Yeah, Peter. Wow.
Patience, the counter to wrath. Patience is the ability to remain steadfast in difficult situations. The Bible teaches that patience is a virtue that allows believers to trust in God's timing, endure trials with grace, and maintain peace in the midst of challenges. It is seen as an essential aspect of living a faithful and obedient life. In Romans 12, it is essential to be quick or fervent in patience, but most importantly, to take the time and effort to pray, rejoice in hope, and be patient in affliction, to be persistent in prayer. I don't know if I specifically have patience. I think it depends on the situation, but definitely when like the computer's loading and it takes like a millisecond too long, I start just fidgeting with the mouse. I don't know. I think that might not be patience.
I wonder if my stuff is loading, my second thought is this goes faster. There's a problem. So let me fix it.
So
I don't think that's, I guess maybe in your case it might be impatient. In my case, it's like, all right, problem solving time. I got to go to the router.
Wait, if it loads faster, you think there's something wrong?
Loads slower than usual. Like when my tabs are just low, I'm like, okay, this could either be my computer itself being funky or there are demons in my router.
Well, I don't know if that's patience. I think we both immediately get fidgety as soon as something takes too long. If something takes longer than what we're usually used to, it sounds like both of us immediately just start to fidget.
see, it's weird with patience because like with patience with me, it's not in that scenario. Because I think that's on the lower end. I think on the bigger end, it's like in the heat of the moment, you have to be like, okay, let me figure this out.
Well, look, I think in all fairness, we gave ourselves lower end sins. So if we're on the lower end of not being able to get one of these virtues, I think that might not get us that virtue.
Probably.
So no patience for us. So that means we just.
Well, I said 0 on wrath. If this is supposed to be the opposite, I think I do. I think I do have patience, but like for the little things, like if I have the preconception of this usually loads faster, there's probably a problem. Let me go fix it.
Well, what else did we zero ourselves out on that we just did not get? Chastity. I think this is another chastity case.
Is it?
Where it's just like one of those things where it's like, well, if we're being honest, given the scenarios we just gave, we probably don't have it.
It's probably pure 0 then.
It's just a pure neutral. We're not in the negatives. We're not in the positives.
Yeah.
We're just right there in the middle.
Yes.
So that means the only thing we have left to counter is greed. And the counter to greed is charity. The virtue of charity is often synonymous with love, particularly the selflessness, unconditional love that God shows to humanity. One of the most famous passages about charity is found in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
So wait, the virtue is what again?
Charity.
From what you're describing, it's just love.
I guess, yeah, your love of others, giving yourself.
Yeah. I think I'd have this.
Yeah.
Looking at my girlfriend and me, I'm always like, I wonder what I should do. I should go hang out with my girlfriend because I love her.
There you go.
I think I'd have this.
Yeah, I think this is.
Do you hang out with your cousins and stuff if you're on free will? Yeah.
I just do whatever people ask. Yeah. If somebody's like, hey, can you help with this? I'm like, sure.
I might do the funny and go, oh, like Mordecai. That's for the meme.
It's for the meme.
But I do help.
Dang. Okay. With that, we have now zeroed out. Let us into heaven, baby.
No, purgatory. Dang it.
No, wait, you said we just had to even out, St. Peter.
Well, with purgatory, you can slowly climb up the hill. You only how many sins did we have?
We had
only have 2 or 3.
For reality, we had 3. To make it interesting, we had 5.
In reality, it wouldn't take us very long to actually get to heaven. It'd only be, I forgot how they do it in Dante's Inferno. I think ours would only be for like a few hundred years. Maybe less than 100 years.
I'd counter to argue that
But purgatory doesn't actually exist in the Bible, so maybe it'd be bad.
That we have double shown humility, the counter to pride, by being fair to ourselves and to what is written before us, and giving us an even score, which I think shows that we're at least pure of heart enough to realize our mistakes in life, and that I think that
we all fuck up.
We all screw up, and honestly, from what I've heard, the way to get into heaven is, when you die, and
just be honest with yourself,
and you're in the afterlife, you're your own judge, and by our judgments, I think we make it in.
If anything, pass. Maybe a little bit of purgatory, but like we're not going to hell permanently.
I don't think we need purgatory even. I think we have been honest and true and good.
Yes, but I keep questioning myself on all of these.
I think we're good.
I think we're fine.
I think we're good. And honestly, I'm glad they pulled us together on this one. That they're like, if one of you goes, then you both go. Your sins are compiled together.
This is the first time in mankind history.
First time in history. They're like, we need to get this over with. You guys have to share sins and virtues. That'll get you in or out.
I'm just confused on the lust part for me. Because it's just like, because when you did the whole like instinctual thing, I'm all like, Confucian. I am Confucian.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, I think not only did we not get lust as the sin, we also did not get chastity. We're just right in the middle.
Yeah.
So honestly, this is fine. We're good.
Yeah, fine.
We passed.
Yeah, zeroed out on that.
Zeroed out. And I'm going to be real. If any of my homies did not make it into heaven and I did, I would jump down into hell to fight them out of there.
You know what? In a case where God said only like there's a group of people, and it'd be like, or if my girlfriend was there, I'd be like, all right, one of you is only making it, and I'll be like, give me the keys. I'm going down to the basement.
All right, I'll go down.
Fine.
It just immediately, I just nosedive down. I'd be like, what do you mean he's not here? What do you mean?
It's Rip and Tear starts playing. Doom, The Dark Ages looks really good, and I will be playing that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That does look
Xbox,
cool.
we're firing. Everybody has their best showcase in years. What in the... Huh?
You know what? Colby he might be proving us wrong until all those games come out and are all not worth buying.
We'll see.
We'll have to see.
We'll see. Cinema.
But yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
We might not have got as far as we needed to go. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure we might not have made it to heaven that fast. I was ready to have us go through the 10 Commandments to see if we followed those, but I mean, we didn't have to. We're good.
I think we're fine. I think we probably break even on that one too.
We want to find out. Just a real quick run through.
Speed round.
10 commands.
Speed. Just answer as fast as you can.
Commandments. No thinking.
Just say.
You shall have no other God before me.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. You shall not make up or worship any idols.
Sure.
I've never done that in my life. You shall not misuse the name of your Lord your God.
I invoke him any time I think something's dumb.
We're not going to get that one.
Okay.
You shall keep the Sabbath day holy.
Yeah, Sundays are chill.
I don't know. It depends on the definition, but
I'm gonna say sure.
I guess.
Try
You shall honor your mother and father. Yeah, I got that. Uh-oh. Are we still...
Kindness and forgiveness. I will forgive them.
Okay.
So yes.
All right. You shall not murder.
I have never killed any man.
You shall not commit adultery.
Cheating on another person, never.
No. You shall not steal.
Does Minecraft count?
Does stealing as a joke count?
I don't know. Unless the other person feels angry at us, I feel like that's the only time it counts.
All right, we don't get that one.
Yeah.
You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor.
I have no idea what that means, but I kind of like my neighbors.
It's just like lying
to my neighbors
to get them in trouble.
No, I've yet to do that.
To get somebody in trouble.
Or like, yeah.
You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. Just envy. No, I don't care what they have.
No, it's fine. They can have whatever.
Cool. I think we passed. Flying colors, get us in.
I'll ask them why they buy the Tesla, but I'll be like, all right.
Oh, man, I don't envy them. I pity them.
Yeah,
they bought a Tesla.
I'm like, all right, dog.
When I see that guy in town with the Cybertruck, I'm like, man, you really wasted $100,000.
Interesting choice. I'll say in truck. Could have chose anything else.
Could have saved yourself so much money.
Yes.
We passed. Let us in. Open the gates.
Open the gates.
We're in, baby.
Grandma!
Is that my cats?
You know what's sad? You're supposed to say yes, Alex.
It's sad or what's sad?
That technically animals don't go to heaven.
No, that's not true.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not true.
It is.
No.
How do you know?
Because how do you know that they don't?
Because it states in the Bible it's only people up there.
I don't think that's true. I think that's a misinterpretation.
No, it is.
Because heaven's what makes you the most happy. And if what makes you most happy would be having all your animals, and animals have spirits, so they would indeed go to heaven.
I have to look this up.
Any depiction of heaven has animals up there.
Animal-like things.
That's still animals.
Well, it depends.
Your animal spirit will make it up there.
I'll have to Google it in the background. I think my grandma actually got mad at all dogs go to heaven, and she was like, They don't.
They do though.
I'll have to double check. I'm questioning on that one.
It's true. They make it.
From
my studies, animals make it up there.
Actually, so this is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
In Orthodox, they don't go to heaven. However, on the day of rebirth, so basically Revelations, everything respawns.
Everything respawns.
So technically, under Orthodox Christianity, when everybody comes back down from heaven, because it's like, all right, everything's gone. We don't need that up there. We can just come down in like a holy spot. Then you get everything back.
I'm pretty sure, because animals have spirits, and their spirits have to go somewhere.
I'd have to double check. I know in Orthodoxy it's a bit different.
I'm pretty sure it's true. I'm pretty sure.
We'll answer this next time on Totally Oblivious.
No, we won't.
TOPO.
We'll talk about something completely different.
Probably. Until we another episode. Hey, remember that one question? It'd be 13 episodes later. But you have to figure that out.
Someone in the comments.
Yeah.
Say it.
I'll probably say something.
I'm so certain that I'm right that I will drop all of my virtues and go to hell.
That's okay. Hold on here. You're going a little bit crazy.
That's how confident I am. That I'm gambling my own holiness on this one. I'm confident.
Yes.
I'm confident that they make it there.
We will see.
It's not we will see.
You know, if you go down, I go down with you.
I'm gambling both of them.
Wait a minute. Wait.
That's how confident I am.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
that's about it.
Hour 22 in.
This is the shortest episode. Caleb in post is pumping his fists right now.
Anger.
He's tired of editing 2-hour-long podcasts.
I forgot the last few ones were 2 hours.
Every single one since April has been a 2-hour podcast.
We just keep yapping, bro.
We've had guests, and guest episodes are long.
My girlfriend being here would have just
everywhere. It would have got us to another 2-hour episode.
She would have been probably questioning both of us. I don't think either of you have those.
You're not going to have. She would send us both to hell.
Technically speaking, in Dante's Inferno, I forgot what her name was, but there was a chick that Dante, historically speaking, had this fat crush on and just OC righted her into his story. So she basically would have been that, but real, just judging us.
Look, by what my words were at the end, by what I've known, is that it's by your own judgments that whether or not you were a good person, and you'll have knowledge of all the things that you've done, and you'll be like, man, my honor really was low.
If you have low honor, bro, if you're a cartel member, don't expect good things.
And to be real, just to end this off, given me and Alex might have some sins under our ropes, but I'm pretty sure we get the good honor ending.
I think so.
I think the good things that we've done in our lives should counteract any bad thing that we've done.
I have yet to murder or commit adultery.
I have yet to do a lot of terrible things because I'm like, why would I do that?
Yeah, that's
why would
dumb.
I do something terrible?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're terrible people and we're just oblivious of our own actions. Who knows?
Fry, what do you feel about that?
Oh no, the gates of hell are opening underneath us. No! Anyway, that's it for this week's episode. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll talk about something else.
It is cold. That's why. I was wondering
vent.
why I was feeling a breeze.
We got the vent. But yeah.
You vented?
We'll probably an Among Us reference in 2024.
I saw.
You see the show? They're making a show.
Is that actually coming to fruition?
Real. And they have actual A-list actors on the show.
Oh my god.
It's
Lord.
It's crazy.
No.
But yeah. More on that maybe next week if we remember. If not, then we'll talk about something else and you'll have absolutely nothing to look forward to. But still watch it. We'll talk about something. Maybe have another guest. Who knows?
We might talk about Joseph Stalin.
Could. It's possible. But that's it.
The Vietnam War. Fortunate son kicks in. Deuces.
See you guys. Peace out.